Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit and welcome to True Forming for the Ages. Who remembers Himeyuri? Well, not me, and I have Himeyuri. Himeyuri Ninetails from Girls and Mons has got a true form, and I've previously expressed why I think that's brilliant. Underused, underknown, possibly undervalued unit now gets a true form and an opportunity to be heckin' known, heckin' valued, and hecka good. I don't know. Here's the true form. Fox Queen Himeyuri increases all of the stats and, interestingly, provides a true form to something which was already her true nature. So I guess it's a true form squared. Let's evolve Fox Queen Himeyuri to be the state of affairs. And a little bit different, but not much different. Okay, just a little bit of a redesign, some cheek art. We love that. Fox Queen Himeyuri is now in business. The Lost Harvest Goddess has finally cast aside her mask and blessed the earth with her true face. I don't know. Looks very similar to me. Area attacks might slow floating/angels. That's good, because today is a Monday, and that means growing green. Let's see what this new improved Himeyuri is capable of then. I'm going to, if possible, just use her to solo this level. Might not be massively difficult. It is an insane stage and an easy version of an insane stage at that. But if she can do it all herself, that's a good start. So Morph gets two-shotted by her and she moves forward, looking up into the sky as if she cannot deign to look down at the enemies because she's just so much better than them. You prove that to us, Himeyuri, and we're going to have a great time. That is an Owlbrow dealt with one salvo. If you look, we got attack 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and then the Owlbrow's gone. Well, that's fantastic. Let's see how it deals with a Bun, a 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. No knockback there, but definitely a steadfast and absolutely certain slow. The next salvo, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So it takes 5 little things to knock back a Bun. I don't know why I'm counting. I mean, statistically, I've got absolutely no idea what that means. I don't know. I guess I feel assured by knowing. The one issue at the moment seems to be her range, which isn't great, which immediately limits her ability to be used in certain levels, because certain levels you need a nice range advantage over the enemies. But actually, if you happen to have maybe even more than one of her, or she can attack quickly enough and get the slow into action, I'm sure that will be somewhat useful. I can use my slow beam to stop them getting to her, then she can do more damage to her, get rid of those Owlbrows, and if I wasn't trying to just use Himeyuri, I could get other stuff into the field. But it's not just Himeyuri anymore, it's Himeyuri. Some people really like the idea of a one big charged up attack, and others like me like intermittent attacks. This is sort of the debate with whether Jizo's true form was actually better than its second form. The reason I like intermittent attacks is because quite often I will do something impulsively or mistakenly which makes something miss, or something will miss, or there will be some form of unfortunate situation. These separated attacks therefore allow attacks to land, and we're not relying on the chance destruction of one charged up attack that might miss. I'm looking at you, Bahamut from Beginner Account. Though not fast and though not game-breaking, Himeyuri has soloed the stage, well, with the kind of slight duo behind her, but she's trying not to make that obvious. You can see from how long we're taking to defeat the base, actually, that this really isn't a damage unit. I mean, crikey, this is slow progress. We can almost count out the damage of the meat shields, and, you know, when you do that, it gets even worse. But I guess it makes her achievement here seem better that she wasn't supplemented. Even with as little damage as that, she succeeded in dealing with all of the enemies. I was having a little thought while preparing for this video and then looked in the enemy guide, and it is true, in fact, that old Mecha Bun from his silly stage, Laboratory of Relics, which ruins the perfect thematic symmetry of 48 stages in the Stories of Legend, is floating. And so I thought, well, perhaps why not try and get something like 2-star attempted so that Himeyuri can really be tested. Now, I don't really know what I'm looking for, and I've recently been in a stream where I wasted a whole load of items through not scouting out the level first. So learn from your mistakes. We are going to scout out the level first and hopefully by inference work out if the strat works as well, because this weirdly again, for a Stories of Legend stage, it's no continues. What's rather fantastic is that a research combo I was thinking of using has Himeyuri in it. Kimono champs, if ever she needed more relevance, there she is at the forefront of our combos. We've also got an additional meat shield from that. I got 4 on the other end and a maglev because I don't remember the peons, and okay, that's immediately a problem. A lil bun bun. Though not as big a problem as it could have been because it's a floating enemy, but I didn't remember what peons were accompanying the mecha bun, so I just assumed there were very little, and so put all of my resources into the mecha bun. The worker cat's slowly creeping up. I suspect that I can get that to max without having to use a rich cat. We've inconvenienced ourselves a little bit there, but the lil bun is gone, so that's fine. Stop everything immediately. I doubt a few tiny little peons can stop us in our tracks, but we try and make the progress as slow as possible before we unleash the Fury, and of course the Fury will overrun us completely because we haven't prepared well for it. But I'm going to put out Himeyuri and see if she can do any kind of decent job before we are decimated. I doubt it. You need huge amounts of preparation for this stage, I remember at least that much, but let's see if she can land off some form of slow to this very fast boy. That would be a no. Okay, try again, Himeyuri. Good. Right, you actually got something off there. He is floating. I mean, it said it in the enemy guide, but I don't really trust it until it actually happens for real. So let's slow beam you. Meat shield as much as I can. And she's dead. Right, well... This time I'm going to try and be more intelligent about my choices, and that entails stalling this little bun, having a cyberpunk shoot outside roughly where it is, and then stacking more than one of them, as is the plan with all these intelligent strategic kids out there with their skateboards. Cyberpunk is in engagement, and we've kept the little bun away somehow. Next order of the day is to try my very best to save up for a Bodhisattva cat without losing, which is going to be difficult, seeming as I reckon I'm actually getting no net monies whatsoever. If I knock you back, that gives me a little bit more time, and that's ultimately what we like. And okay, sniper off now, because we do actually need to preserve that little bun somewhat, and meat shield with these 3, hopefully avoiding using Manic Mohawk because it does plenty of damage. But here's me talking about strategic find points, and we've knocked it back directly into the cyberpunk shot. Okay, maybe not gonna be a kind of stacking thing going on here. That, I guess, isn't really my way of doing things, in the sense that succeeding isn't really my way of doing things. So I just need to try and increase my monies where it's going to be very difficult to while meat shielding. I would have had the option to not meat shield, but then everything would have died, probably including cyberpunk, so perhaps not an option. Himeyuri, Bodhisattva. My aim was to make CPU work. I thought we'd be fine without a rich cat, but everything went to pot, as it certainly seems to. So let's just put it on anyway. And okay, it went for Kite Cat first. I think that is quite an appropriate metaphor. I would say let's see what happens, but I don't think what happens will be long enough to even see. You really showing me up, you scumbag? Alright, final attempt then. Stuff stacking. I clearly can't do it. And let's say something rebellious. Who cares? I've also stuffed it with meat shields, loads of them. 4, 5, 6, 7. Make that 8, because Himeyuri is going to come out now. Hopefully that will make her recharge time go away a little bit now, rather than waiting in vain for a second one later. The worker cat is max now. That's another mistake I made. I should have just put it there with the other items. When I'm using loads of items, maybe I should just make it a rule to put on rich cat as well, even if it's likely I won't need it, just in case I do, because I don't want to have wasted all of them like I've just done there. Anyway, loads of meat shields, and of course, therefore, we have a CPU. Gonna try and make the most of this time now to increase my monies. Doubtful, as I'm putting out so many meat shields at once, and I don't really need to. Himeyuri is doing an absolutely fine job of slowing down little Bun. What I was saying about these different salvos is useful for if Bun is temporarily indisposed by being knocked back. It comes back by the end of the salvo, in which case it's slowed then. And that's allowed us to gain a few monies, enough for Cyberpunk, and to keep roughly pushing forward. And I think now that I've done that, and the rest of the stuff is just meat shielding, we are near enough to say when the next Himeyuri comes off recharge time, we will get it, and then the CPU will come on, and hopefully all flipping good heck is gonna break loose. All heaven's gonna break loose, lads. Himeyuri, quick, go. Right, everything is a go, and I shall now watch it either fail or probably fail. Himeyuri, your first test is to slow this boy, and you really need to, otherwise we're going to be in deep problematic territory. Cyberpunk? No, okay, too late on that, Cyberpunk. You don't obviously care about your comrades' lives, do you? In fact, all of my comrades, I reckon, are going to be dying very soon, so that's all good fun. We've got a temporarily stopped Mecha Bun. There you go, you see. To all you hate... Oh... If this stage was reasonable, we could just give it another attempt. But of course it's not. It's no continues. It's one stage, an entire subchapter. That's an event stage, not a Stories of Legend stage. And you've ruined the number of subchapters. I was unhappy at this before. Now I'm just quite angry. Well, the stage element of that was a categorical disaster. But Himeyuri showed a little bit of promise there, and that's what it was really all about. You're welcome to recommend me tips on Eldritch Forces, but it wasn't really my intention to beat it. It would have been nice, but I just wanted to see what Himeyuri could do. In that case, not very much, but we tried our very best. And although it was a catastrophic waste of my items and energy, I hope it was not a catastrophic waste of your time, and that you derived some form of enjoyment from it. And so on that note, I will bid you goodbye and say, I hope you enjoyed.